The Dallas Mavericks have just won Game 1 of the NBA playoffs, and here in BA Impacts, we are pumped. As Mavs fans, Adam's rocking the Luka Magic shirt. I have the Luka Doncic Jordan statement jersey behind me. Man, I'm so pumped. In honor of us just being super excited about the NBA playoffs, here's a look at our NBA playoff predictions. We talked about how the Mavs took Game 1. I won't say stole because that's not the case this year. We took Game 1. I mean,
they led pretty much the entire way until
they've won every single quarter. I mean, let's be real. The Mavs beat the Clippers by 52 this year. In the game early in the season, they won by 52.
The scrub bench players.
Yeah, they won by 52. They led the season series 2-1. It's not like last year. Okay, it's 4-5. It's a true 4-5 matchup. So I don't think Mavs are gonna sweep them. I like for them to sweep them, but it's a good series. So I was flabbergasted when I saw pretty much every single ESPN analyst pick the Clippers except for one guy. So that inspired this topic. We are gonna go through the NBA bracket, and we are gonna pick our picks. So Adam, we'll go. How do you want to do this? You want to go one at a time, or you just want to say all your picks at once?
Let's do one at a time.
One at a time. All right. So you'll go first. Utah, Memphis. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Utah. I think it's gonna be a really good series.
I think it's gonna be a lot better than people anticipate. I think Utah. Donovan Mitchell's not 100%. Utah's deep, but Donovan Mitchell's still not 100%. I think he'll go to 6.
Yeah, I think it's, the hard part with Memphis is youth is always hard to kind of estimate what your expectations are. I mean, they could get there and be happy that they're in the playoffs and just throw up a skunk and get swept. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they've got enough good players, sneaky good players. Like Brooks, to me, is super underrated on their team, and so is Triple J. I think he is a sneaky good player because he can stretch the floor. And then Valanciunas, if he can stay out of foul trouble, that's really for that matchup. To me, that's going to be the thing. If Valanciunas can stay out of foul trouble with Gobert, I think they match up pretty well against each other. So that should be a pretty good thing to see. That's why I think it's probably going to go 6 or 7.
Yeah, and it's a series that I will be happy seeing Memphis win, but I don't hate Utah. Like I'll enjoy seeing Utah play deep in the playoffs. It's just Memphis is gritty, man. They are a gritty team. Yeah,
and Brooks is an amazing defender, and I think Morant is one of those players that can shoot you in a game, which is what happened against Golden State. He hit 50% of his threes.
Yeah.
And he can shoot you out too. I mean, if he doesn't get to the hoop, then you don't know what's going to happen. So
exactly. And Jaren Jackson Jr., the more playoffs go by, he's going to pick up his stride. He's still kind of rough.
He is I don't want to say it, but he is a guy that I am targeting for opportunity product to purchase.
No, I'm looking
and stuff.
I'm looking as soon as the Grizzlies are out. Like he's a guy I'm going to be targeting in August.
Yeah, I've got him on my list, and it's been hard for me not to want to pull the trigger on some of his.
Oh, you gotta wait.
You just
gotta wait.
So those are little things. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on that too. I know that's not what we're talking about, but we should probably move on to the next series.
Yeah, we got a lot around. So we're both consensus Utah Jazz round 1. Mavs Clippers.
So we're going down Western Conference first. So
yeah, we're going Western first.
Man, my heart, obviously, I think Dallas. I really think Dallas should win this. Going into the series, before Game 1, I thought it was going to be really tough. I thought the Clippers were probably going to come out in 6 or 7, to be honest. But after stealing Game 1, I know we didn't steal it, but comparatively speaking, with the way the NBA looks at playoffs, we stole it. We stole home court at least. I think that we're going to pull it out in 6.
I think Mavs at 5, to be honest. Ooh. I mean, if they sweep them, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think winning game 1 was huge, considering the Mavs are near capacity for games 3 and 4. That's gonna be wild, man.
It is.
I don't know. I think there's a chance Mavs. I genuinely believe the best games for the Mavs to lose is game 2. But as of right now, I think the Mavs in game 3 and 4, they're a tough team to beat in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the numbers before we jump to the next one, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both shot almost a little under 50% in the game. And I mean, you can't ask for that much more from them.
I just don't know how deep the Clippers are, to be honest. I think people don't talk about it that much, but I think they digressed from last season, to be honest.
They lost some of their toughness and their defensive prowess with Harrell and
Lou Williams.
Yeah, well, honestly, Lou Williams to me was the biggest
Smith.
Impact in the series last year. He is the Kawhi's on the bench. He could score from anywhere kind of guy.
Yeah.
And they lost that. They lost chicken wing Lou Williams.
Lou.
So
yeah, so I don't know. I am a lot more confident than the media is with the Mavericks, but I'm of course biased.
All right. So what about Denver and Portland?
Portland.
Okay. I got Denver in that one.
I got Portland in 7.
I got Denver in 5. As much as I want Portland to win, I personally would love to see Portland win. I really like Damian Lillard. I really like McCollum. I think McCollum is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. I think he's better than Paul George. I think he is better than a lot of people that get a lot of love.
Yeah. Because
he's in Portland and he's second fiddle to Dame. I hope they win, but I think Denver's going to win.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Denver's going to finally feel the loss of Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I'd love, if they can't be the Mavs, I'd love it for Denver to come out of the West. I've always wanted a Mavs Denver. The last couple years, I've wanted badly, just as a basketball fan, a Mavs Nuggets series.
I mean, it would have to be in the Western Conference Finals.
It would have to be. I have a ton of respect for Denver. I just think the Jamal Murray loss is pretty big. Yep. Phoenix Lakers.
I think the Lakers are going to win it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 6.
I think it's dumb that LeBron isn't going to be suspended for breaking health and safety protocol. But then again, I thought about it some more, and I think it's because he hasn't been telling the media that he's been vaccinated. He's been saying it doesn't matter. I think he's not suspended because he's vaccinated.
Probably.
I think that's the only way they saw no risk. But that's another one. I would love for Phoenix to win. I really would. But I gotta agree. I think it's going to be the Lakers.
All right, Eastern Conference. What do you think?
Philly, Washington. I got Washington. I have no trust in Philly. I don't care if they're the number 1 seed. I have no trust in Philly.
I think that Embiid, the series is going to go the way Embiid goes. Because I think that, what's his name? What's the Wonder Boy who won Rookie of the year after he was a rookie?
Ben Simmons?
Yeah, Simmons.
Contending for this year's Rookie of the Year award too?
I think he's going to foul out a lot of games. I think Beal and Westbrook are going to just push and push and push. I don't think Tobias Harris is going to be enough. It's going to go the way Embiid goes. I mean, they're going to have a hard time matching up with Embiid if Embiid's going to pound low in the post. So I want Washington to win. This is going to be my step out on a ledge, and because I kind of talked about it a couple of episodes ago, that I thought that they matched up well with Philadelphia. Obviously without not counting the Embiid factor, but I think Washington's going to win in 7.
Yeah, Washington in 7. I agree. Honestly, I've been enjoying Russell Westbrook a lot more now that he's on the Eastern Conference. So
yeah, when you listen to his interviews, it's hard not to like the guy. I mean, when you hear him talk to the media, I don't know. I have a lot more respect for him over the last few years. Maybe it's because he's no longer in our division.
Yeah, we no longer have to worry about him bullying the Mavs.
Yeah.
Although the last couple of years he hasn't been.
Yeah.
But those
same thing that happened
years,
to KD. Honestly, the last few years that he was here, or last year really, he didn't play very well against Dallas.
So. All right, Knicks Atlanta. This one I think is the most underrated and also at the same time one of the most hyped series of the entire playoffs so far. I'm very excited for the Knicks Hawks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good series. I
hope it goes to 7. I really do.
I don't think that Atlanta has a chance. I'll be honest. I think Atlanta will lose. I think they will win maybe one game. I think it's going to be a 5 or 6.
I wanted to go 7. It probably will be 5 or 6. I wanted to go 7. I think it, as someone who has invested a little bit in Trae Young, I really wanted to go to 7.
I'm an OU fan as well, so it's hard for me to say that, and I may be completely wrong. But I think the Knicks are going to possibly sweep the series. I
want to see Young do something special in his first playoff series. I really do want to see it. I'm not the typical Mavs fan who's obsessed with Trae Young just getting demolished.
Luka.
I'm not obsessed with it. Honestly, I see it more from Hawk fans, but that's also because we have Luka. But I want him to succeed, and I don't know. But I think it'll be the Knicks. I think it'll be the New York Knicks. We're going to round 2 and just blowing everyone's minds. All right, Milwaukee, Miami. The Bucks already lead the series 1-0 as of this recording. What do you think?
Brogdon, or not Malcolm Brogdon. He doesn't even play for them anymore. What's the guy at 22? What's his name? The guy who hit the game-winning shot. Come on.
I didn't watch the end of the game. I was in Mavs post-game mode or pre-game mode.
Pre-game mode.
Yeah, I was watching the local network.
Middleton.
Did he hit a game winner?
He hit the game winning. Yeah.
I was so nervous for that Mavs Clippers game. I couldn't watch the Bucks Heat game. I couldn't. I was tuned in. I was pure MFFL.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee. I think they're going to sweep the series.
I don't think it'll be a sweep.
I do too. I do.
I think we'll go to 5. No,
I think
6.
the best player on the Heat. The best player in the series will be Duncan Robinson.
Man, I said this is going to be in 6, but I think it's going to be the Heat.
I think Jimmy Butler's good. Oh, really? You're calling the Heat? I think Jimmy Butler's really good. But I think that he thinks he's better than he is.
Yeah.
I think he thinks he's Jordan.
He's confident, man. That's all. I respect the confidence.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think he's good. I'd love to have him in Dallas. But I just don't see how they I can't see the matchup. Bam they've found somehow a way to neutralize him. I know it was one game, but even, they match up well with Brook Lopez and the Greek Freak. It's just a tough matchup.
Yeah. I'm going with the Heat in 6.
All right.
Brooklyn, Boston.
Boston will be lucky to win 2 games.
Here's the thing. Now, as we speak, as we're recording, Boston and the Nets are playing right now. I'll look at the score right now. But I think it's going to be, this is the 7th game the trio's ever played. It's 36-33 Boston right now.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is 3 for 11 currently.
It's
not looking so good.
It's the first. It's like they haven't even played 10 games altogether. So I don't know. It just depends. I mean, even you look at it with maybe besides Golden State, look at the Miami Heat Big 3. When they first came, it took them 20 games before they started winning. And you don't have you don't have
and
that
even
time in the playoffs.
I think if I remember right, in the Eastern Conference, they had one series that they struggled a little bit before they played Dallas in the
so I don't
finals.
know. It's going to be telling. I think they'll beat Boston just because Boston's a little bit depleted. Missing Jaylen Brown's huge, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
But I think.
I mean, Boston's bench is rough. I mean, honestly, they're rolling out Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
And a bunch of guys who are 1 or 2 years in the league, and that's tough in the playoffs. That's not going to get you anywhere.
I agree. But I'm going with Brooklyn, round 1. Now, round 2 is going to be complete. The rest of this predictions will be completely hypothetical and could be more fun. We'll do real round predictions.
Oh,
when
so we're gonna
it's
go
time.
the full
I think we
bracket real
should.
quick. All right,
We're not
let's do
gonna
it. Let's
we're not
pound
gonna
it out. We're not gonna
analyze
it. Yeah, let's
We're
just
not gonna
go.
analyze it. We're just gonna go just because we can't analyze it because it's not real. But second round matchup, we had Utah and Dallas. We were both, or no, yeah, Utah.
Yeah, we both
Dallas.
had Utah and Dallas.
Utah, Dallas. I think Dallas.
Homer alert. I also think Dallas will win.
I think Dallas. I'm still confident from that win against Utah they had a while back. All right, so
win.
Dallas Western Conference Finals. Other Western Conference semifinals, we have Portland and Lakers. I have Portland Lakers.
I have Denver and the Lakers.
You go first.
I have the Lakers beating Denver.
Lakers beating Denver. I have the Lakers beating Portland.
Okay, so we're both in agreement that it's going to be Lakers and Mavericks.
The Mavericks, Western Conference Finals. The Mavs have to go through LA, I guess twice. But yeah. All right. We have Washington, New York.
I'm going to say Washington.
I'm going New York.
Okay.
I'm going New York Knicks all the way.
8 seed in the conference finals, baby.
I'm going number 4, New York Knicks. Oh man. All right. I have the Heat and Brooklyn, and I'm going with the Heat.
I have Milwaukee and Brooklyn, and I think this is where the things that we talked about with Brooklyn will take their toll. I think even though they've got a lot of guns, Brooklyn does, I think Milwaukee will slow the game down, make it tough for them, a little bit slow it down. But I think Milwaukee comes out on top. So I've got Milwaukee and Washington.
You know what? I'm still going New York, Miami, but I also though really want New York, Brooklyn, because I think it'd be hilarious.
That would be
if
pretty
we get the
nuts.
Battle of New York instead of.
I'm sure the NBA would love that too.
Just imagine getting the Battle of New York instead of the Battle of LA. I just think that'd be so funny. Just a natural city rivalry. I just think it'd be hilarious.
As far as eyes and as far as the US view, they probably don't want New York versus Brooklyn just because you basically lose the rest of the country on the eastern side, but
I just
it is
think
what it is.
It's just so I think it'd be hilarious. All right, so Western Conference Finals, you got the Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers. This is all hypothetical. Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers. Who you got?
Lakers.
I'm going with the Mavs.
Sweet.
I think if the Mavs get to the Western Conference Finals, genuinely, I think it's a Cinderella story like the Heat last year. Genuinely, I do think the Mavericks have a chance.
I mean, the way that the teams that we have in the Eastern Conference, if the Mavs make it to the finals, they would probably be the favorite.
I genuinely do think in the 2021 NBA playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks will play the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and they'll win the face-off against the New York Knicks. That is my bold prediction. Here, you heard it here first on the BA Impacts podcast. No hypothetical.
We have a BA
Mavs,
Impacts,
New York Knicks.
Probably not in bracket selecting. I'm going to go ahead and put the Lakers versus the. I have Washington and Milwaukee, I believe. I think Giannis, it's his time, and I have the Milwaukee Buck versus the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals.
I am sticking with. So Adam has Bucks, Lakers, and the Bucks winning the title. I'm sticking with Mavs Knicks 2021 NBA Finals and the Mavs in 5. I'm sticking with it. Just imagine the narrative of the Knicks and the Mavs in the NBA Finals with KP. And I genuinely believe if the Mavs get past round 1 and they win, I think round 2 will be out of all of these series, out of all of these rounds, if it actually happened the way I'm saying it will, I think the toughest will be round 2, and after round 2, I think it's just the Mavs that will lose. I really
feel like
do.
You've been watching your DVD of the 2010-2011 playoffs.
I'm just saying, if Luka puts up triple-double numbers every single game, the Mavs they're a confident team, and they've been saying all week, we're not playing to win round 1, we're playing to win a championship. Luka said after the game, he's like, I don't care about the MVP, I care about winning a championship. So I'm rolling with Luka.
All right. Well, I've got the Lakers in 6. I think the underappreciated, unsung hero of the series will be Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder, man. You can laugh, but I seriously cannot wait for me to be right and for it to be Mavs Knicks.
Right,
and
I hope you're right.
Everybody's gonna come back to this video. It's gonna be one of those things you see on like Sports Center and everything like that. Millions of likes. Like, this guy called it. Our podcast is gonna go to the next level, and I'm gonna say, "You're welcome, Adam."
Boom.
Man, that's our finals predictions. We'll talk more about it. We'll probably talk more about the Western Conference Finals predicting, because by the time I'm back and rolling from wedding and honeymoon, we'll be deep into the round 2, and it won't be fair to predict anything there. But that is our predictions. Pretty good. Thanks for checking out the BA Impacts podcast right here on YouTube. The full episode will be out later in the week, but if you're ready to listen to the whole thing now, go check it out on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else podcasts can be found.